He's a hero in Gorgie tonight. It was frantic, it was remarkable, it was a superb Edinburgh derby, and it's finished all square. But for Hibs though, it must feel a bit like a defeat after taking the lead. There was a late sickener for them when that man Ozturk did this. Let's hear from the man of the match though, Dylan McGeoch, and goal scorer Malonga, who are with Mark Guidi.
Dylan, how does that feel to lose a goal in injury time?
Yeah, it's disappointing. Obviously, I thought we controlled most of the game. We had a few chances we could have took, but the centre half stepping up and hitting a strike like that, you're not expecting it at the last minute. So it's disappointed, but I thought we done really well, so we can keep our heads up and go into the next game.
Does it feel more like a defeat?
Well, yeah, obviously. It's stoppage time when he scores, so their fans are going to be delighted, and we're kind of deflated a bit, but we need to keep our heads up. I said we played well and thought we controlled most of the game, so we just need to keep going.
Dominic, you scored a goal. Did you think it was going to be the winning goal?
Yeah, of course, but he just won. We was a game, and I think we play very well. We have a great fan, and I'm very disappointed because we have again in our hand, and is for me the devastated draw. But we play well, and now we look forward.
It's all about bouncing back now, Dylan.
Yeah, of course. As I said, we've done really well. They didn't hit a strike like that in the 92nd minute, so we can keep our heads up, move on to the next game, and I think we've been on a wee run now. We've only been beaten a few games, so keep our heads up and move on to the next game.
Dylan, you're the BT Sport Man of the match. Dominic, can you present him, please?
Over. Thanks. Cheers.
Not sure he wanted to hand that over. Michael Stewart, Gordon Strachan and Stephen Craigan are with me. It was unbelievable at the end, really, wasn't it?
It's a terrific game. I thought Hibs had the better the first half. Second half, all I've seen was, especially the start of the second half, was the Hearts fullbacks getting bombing on. They moved up 10 yards further forward for the first half. Hearts midfield players moved it quicker, got to the fullbacks, good crosses, and but then you think Hibs have got to hang on here. But I've got to say, Hearts were incredibly brave. The Gomez goes back there and plays, still taking off the goalie. Hibs at that point probably say to themselves, could we have pushed up on them? Did we sit back and too much? And Hearts, I thought Walker coming on was a big decision for the manager. Linked up better, took people on. But I thought it was a great game of football for both sides. Both managers can take a lot from it, but you can see why Hearts are top of the league. They've got a great determination about them, brave on the ball, fit, and you can see why Hibs are getting better as well.
8 goals in the last 5 minutes of league games for Hearts this season. They just do not give up. But Hibs, what a sickener it was towards the end. They must have thought they were going to win it when they were leading that late on. Malonga put them ahead in the first half.
Yeah, well, I think that over the course of the first half, that Hibs deserved it. They were the better team. They dominated the possession, as you heard Dylan McGeoch talking about there. And this one here, you see Fontaine, a run from deep round the back post, sort of batters around inside the box, and it's a good finish from Malonga as it drops them. But it was thoroughly deserved. Hibs deserved to go into half time, 1 up. And as Gordon said there, second half they started quite well, but Hearts just started to get themselves a bit more into the game. But at this point, you're thinking to yourself, it's deserved. The Hibs had a number of chances in the first half that you thought they could have been 1-0 up with.
You can really see the progress, can't you, with Hibs the last few weeks?
Listen, they're great to watch. I think Gordon touched on it a bit. McGeoch good on the ball, Scott Robertson good on the ball, Scott Allen for me was terrific as well, always wanting the ball, taking it under pressure, driving forward, trying to link the play. Alan Stubbs is wanting to build through the 3 zones, but you have to have players in midfield who can take the ball, who can make things happen, and I thought time and time again the Hibs midfield dominated.
Callum Patterson may feel a little relieved in that Hearts dressing room, because Hearts were playing very well when he was red carded, Gordon, so he'll have been happier than anyone to see that equaliser fly in. It's a definite red for you.
It's just a bad decision, because one of these players has got to catch up with Malonga, because he's not the quickest. He's got to catch him. Eckersley's got to catch him, no problem. And he's made that challenge. That's just a decision you make, and normally that can cost you. But I'll tell you what, that's a bad tackle. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, he's got to go in and say, well done lads, because you've actually even got better without me at 10 men. Because I could have put you in trouble. You bailed me out. Yous were brave on the ball. Yous were less emotional than I was, and they have come on and done a fantastic last 15 minutes to the Hearts guys without him.
That's one of those where it's a tactical foul. He's thinking that Malonga's going to break on his opposition, but there's plenty of bodies back there. He didn't need to do that, and it wasn't just a clip of the ankles or a tug of the shirt. It was a bad tackle.
It's different if Ronaldo's breaking for there, but that's Malonga. He's not the quickest. He's got other attributes, but he's not the quickest. Eckersley's catching him.
Totally. He didn't need to do it.
Listen, it is dangerous. I mean, that could have been worse than just a kicking down the back of the calf. And I think Gordon tried a bit more longer, because I thought all afternoon he threatened to do something. He threatened to burst into life. Callum Patterson should have realised he's not having a great game. He's not the quickest as Gordon says. He's not going to get away from me. So even just a little clip of the heels, but very, very silly.
Let's hear from the Hibs head coach now, Alan Stubbs. Back over to Mark.
Alan, disappointed he didn't manage to see the game out?
Well, I think when you look at the strike, I don't think he'll ever score a goal of that again. Disappointed because of the effort that we put in, and I thought we were by far the better team. I thought we deserved to win the game. But how can you be too down on yourself when we perform that well in the game? First half I thought we were excellent. Second half, I think it's probably an evenish game. But I think overall, there was so many positives to take from the game.
You think Matt Oxley should have saved it?
That's a bit harsh. I think the ball's moving that quick. As I said, he'll never hit a better strike than that again. And if you look at the flight of the ball, it's all over the place, and it dips last minute. So it's disappointing to concede so late in the game. But I thought, I was sitting on the side, and I was proud of my players' performance. I've got to say, it's sometimes it's easy to talk about the result and how negative, but for me today there was just so many positives.
You did create a few really good chances too. You could have been further ahead.
Yeah, we could have been, and probably that's the one thing that we still need to work on. We're getting there. We're not as bad as what some people make out.
Thanks, Alan.
All right, cheers, thank you.
On that evidence, they're a lot better than that. Can you see the tide turning a little bit for them?
Yeah, I think so. I think that there definitely has been a shift. There's been a progression there. Today Hibs, they imposed their formation on the game, and Hearts were on the back foot a lot. And I don't think there's any doubt that Alan Stubbs is doing a good job here.
The equaliser was just incredible, though. You're wondering, Gordon, when a centre half brings the ball out at this stage in the game, what he's going to do. We didn't think he would do that.
Yeah, well, we were right behind this. When it hit, I thought, well, if that actually dips, we're in trouble here, because it took off. It really took off. As I said, the wind's bad out there, it's swirling, and I don't think you can blame the goalie for that. That's just sheer pace. And if you watch it, actually, it's a levelly thing. It's got to go over the bar. And then just at this point, right, we're dipping now. It's just unfortunate. It's a wonderful goal for us to see. We've seen a great game of football here today, and we've also seen probably the goal of the season as well.
You're a centre half, Stephen. You'll appreciate that.
Listen, I'd have put that about 8 rows behind.
There's no doubt
behind
about
the
that.
goal. But I think the fact that Hearts had pushed and probed, and they went wide with Walker, wide with Nicholson, and they hadn't really had any success. And he's probably thought to himself, do you know what? He's probably seen the clock and thought, I'm just going to hit it and hope. And I think even the Hearts fans probably, went down a little bit, but suddenly it just dipped from nowhere. They probably didn't deserve it. I thought Hibs were slightly better than them, but that's resilience. That's what it takes to win leagues and win titles and get promotions. You have to fight right to the end.
It's another big result, though, because it's another point clear at the top. 7 points clear now for Hearts.
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, the guys have spoken about how Hearts are top of the table, and it does take that resilience, and it's being brave, continuing to try and play football in the right way. Even though they went down to 10 men, they didn't just pump the ball along and hope that something was going to happen. It's a potluck shot at the end that's given them the goal, but they kept probing, they kept trying. And it's those things that make it the fact that Hearts are sitting top, 7 points clear. Obviously it means that Rangers have got a chance to try and close a bit of the gap, but they're there on merit. They deserve to be there.
We always know these derbies are frantic, they're frenetic as well, but the quality we saw was great in such a messy, dramatic kind of atmosphere.
On a day like this, with the conditions and the tension and a derby, you really shouldn't be getting football like this. And I thought the football was wonderful. I think Alan Stubbs just said, right, who's my best 4 midfield players? Right, I'll get a system to suit them.
Apologies, Gordon, can I stop you for just a second? Robbie Neilson standing by. It was good. Let's hear from Robbie Neilson. Back to Mark.
Robbie, did you deserve a point from that game?
It's difficult to tell. Probably Hibs said we wouldn't, but we said we did. I thought we passed the ball well, but in the final third we didn't really create a lot. I didn't think we linked to play well. I thought, two strikers didn't really get into the game. They're wide creative players, but it's a derby match and it can be difficult. I thought we showed a bit of steel to pass it about at the back and trying to create the opportunities, but it was a day that it was blustery, it was difficult to create in, and I thought we showed some fantastic spirit. We keep the run going, I've been undefeated. We're down to 10 men, and we kept working, we kept going, and we kept pushing, and we changed our formation to try and give us 2 up front, and thankfully get the rewards at the end.
Gordon Strachan has described Ostop's goal as a goal of the season. What did you make of it?
Fantastic. You know, to be fair to Alimi, he practices all the time. You know, he hits long range shots and free kicks, and you know, Hibs were sitting in at that time, and we needed somebody to hit a shot from distance to try and get him out, and he smashed it, and it's a fantastic goal. You know, it probably is. It'll definitely be a contender anyway, I think.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Mark.
Sorry to interrupt.
Thanks, me.
Sorry. Would you like to sum it up in the last few seconds?
Wonderful fun. I thought Hearts, I don't know about the boys at Hibs, but I actually thought Hearts, because the way they played in the last half hour, good change, bravery on the ball, probably deserved to get that draw.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Let me tell you what's to come in the next few days. Tomorrow, the SPFL Roundup Show, BT Sport 1, Monday, 5:30 p.m. And following us next, some Bundesliga action. Wolfsburg against Mainz coming your way. What an Edinburgh derby, though. Hibs thought they'd won it. Hearts struck late again. Must be a sickener for Alan Stubbs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.